So imagine this. You're a Japanese manufacturer for the company Mazda. I don't know how to say that company's name probably. Don't mind my pronunciation, but continuing. You're part of the Japanese brandings of any of the Japanese brands, and you guys are watching the TV. You guys are enjoying some racing. Before you notice, Le Mans is actually making some great sales for any brand that joins it. Examples: Porsche, Jaguar, Ferrari, Mercedes. That's all. A lot of the brands that were back in the 1980s and 1990s. So you guys are like, okay, let's make our first car to try and compete and get some good sales in there. But then you guys absolutely fail with the Mazda 767. You guys flop. You guys don't even make a podium, I think, with that car. And then they're like, man, what do we do now? We want to still win Le Mans and maybe make podium on Le Mans. So what do? Then you guys decide to get a designer named Nigel Stroud. I think that's how you say his name. You guys get him, and you got his main goal: make a car that could beat out every other competition for Le Mans. Well, he decided to pitch you the Mazda 787B. It's lacking on pace and is overall a mid-tier car. You could see that car placing in the back rows, and you guys are skeptical of him. But in 1991, his car proves you wrong, as the Mazda 787 becomes the first Japanese car to win at Le Mans.
Hello my fellow car enthusiasts, and I'm back with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed the intro to my newest series on this channel, Out of the Garage, which reviews old cars that were either old, new, or just successful cars in their time. And this is the Mazda 787B, as you saw in the intro. And in this series, I take these cars on one hot lap on the Nürburgring Nordschleife Nürburgring Endurance, which includes the GP Strecke. So this is the Mazda 787, or the first ever Japanese car to win Le Mans, the 24-hour Le Mans, before Audi, no, not Audi, Toyota won in 2018, which is a surprising fact that it's 27 years between these wins, even though brands like Nissan, Toyota, and every single Japanese brand got podiums, they never actually won it besides the Mazda 787B. Now, I see this car, you are not in the initial D, pal, don't start drifting. So, what I noticed is, a lot of people like to talk about this car as it was banned, but you're wondering, why did this car get banned first off? Well, it wasn't because it was just good, it was actually a mid-tier car. As you see, when in 1991, when it was qualifying, it had 3 cars qualify. The number 55 car, which later went on to win Le Mans, which was qualified 19th. The car number 18, 23rd. And then the car number 56, 30th. So, with all this stacked up, you may be wondering, why in the world would a car that is so slow be banned? Well, it is pure and simple. Regulations. That is basically it of why this car is banned. The only thing that was stopping it was regulations. Now, let me talk about this interior of this car. The engine was okay, I got most of this off of Wikipedia, just bear with me, yeah? The Mazda R226B, which is a 2,616cc 4-rotor, naturally aspirated mid-engined. And then it weighted 830 kilograms. Now, that doesn't seem too heavy compared to the new BMW M5, which literally weighs like a flipping tank. Who decided to make this? I don't know. Its transmission was a Mazda/Porsche 5-speed manual. Now, this car was pretty decent. I thought it was actually better when I just keep on seeing reels of this car every single time I open up the Instagram. But it was a decent car. No, let me just say not decent. It was bare bone trash. Besides its Le Mans win, it had 21 races. I mean, I was thinking, ooh, 21 races. If it won Le Mans, it could have won something else. Nope. With 21 races, its only win was at Le Mans, which makes no sense. You're just gonna have to sit there and wonder how in the world do you win Le Mans, but in 21 other races, nope, you have never won anything else. You neither got a pole, neither a fastest lap. That's how mid-tier this car is, and it won Le Mans. Probably because one of the other cars in front of it had a mechanical defect, and it had to pit and retire the car. That's why it overtook it. But it got pace later, so it had the pace to keep up, but no drivers and no constructors championships for Mazda back in 1991. Now, when did this car debut? Well, it debuted in 1990 at the 1,000 kilometers of Fuji. Now, that is pretty good, but you may be wondering, okay, if 21 races, that sounds good for an old car. It's not that good. Because of the regulations, I had to retire this car and I had to make newer ones for this car to exist. Now, as I was continuing, the Japanese cars that placed on the podium was mostly Nissan and Toyota. Now, these two cars placed on podiums, locked out podium, sometimes as second and third, but never won it like the Mazda did back in 1991. Okay, now you may be wondering, okay, if the car was so bad, who was driving the number 55 car to actually win and pull off this magnificent win? Oh, I just messed up that lap over there. But it was Johnny Herbert, Volker Wielder, and Bertrand Chacot. I butchered those names, don't attack me. I don't know how to say them names properly. But yes, this Mazda was driven by those three people and ended up winning because of a mechanical defect. So it would have become a second car, and it would have became second if it wasn't for whoever the guy in front of him was suffering a mechanical failure. If that hadn't happened for the Mazda, Toyota, the only Japanese car, would have won in 2018 with Toyota, as I just said. Now that would have been insane because it was 27 years from 2018 backwards to 1991. So to say the Mazda was a revolutionary for Japanese cars is an understatement. It should have been better, but it was a low backhanding car, and Le Mans was just the suited series. I say that's why in the intro I said they were just focusing on Le Mans, because it felt like he was focusing on Le Mans. That was his first and last win. It sounds good to say, yo, I won it. Yo, my win was at Le Mans. Okay, do you win any other races? And then Mazda has to blankly stare at the Japanese manufacturers and say no, because they have this car, as beautiful and as nice as it sounds, never won anything else. So I had to call this car the Japanese King without a true actual crown, because it won Le Mans but never won a constructors or a drivers championship like Toyota or anyone else did, or whoever Toyota did now in WEC, all these brands. But Mazda was the revolutionary change for all these Japanese cars to live off of and make sure that Japanese cars show themselves and prove themselves to the European world. But that's all I really gotta say for this car. It sounds nice, and it is a really heavy car. I had to treat it like a Porsche 911 RSR, because when I was driving it, I was driving on practice with a Porsche 911 RSR, and they acted very similar to each other. So, but the way this car sounds is insane. We'll put that engine in there, I thank you. But besides that, this car, if I have to say, I'll give it a 8 out of 10 rating. But is it an overrated car? Most probably yes. It is more overrated than any other car I've seen. And that's all for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's Out of the Garage.